hey, it's Friday, which means it's time to, let's try that again. Hey, it's Friday, which means it's time to deploy. I can't talk today. I don't know what's going on. Charlotte, how's it going? How was your week?
Hi everyone. My week was really good. Lots of research going on. Lots of talk about, I guess, what we're doing this year, which is just finalizing the AI Pulse report, and then just kind of getting really excited for RKO, which will be really really fun. I'm really keen. It's my
Yeah,
first one, so I'm very keen. What about
nice.
you?
Yeah, good week. Getting back to it from the long break. For those who don't know, RKO stands for Revenue Kickoff. Other than that, yeah, just busy. Doing recordings. I published another episode of Life at Octopus with Nadine McDonald, which was great, and more video content. And I'm going to be focusing a lot more on AI coming up. So be aware that I will be producing more content, not less. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But anyways, there you go.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, no, it's a good thing. Yes, for sure. So obviously, Matt and Jim are busy at the moment. So it's just Charlotte and I holding down the fort. Anyways, we've got this blog post from Matt Casperson, who is one of the co-creators of the AI Assistant, who wrote this blog post series entitled Octopus Easy Mode. I know that Charlotte and others, this might be actually really cool for you to check out because it's all directed around the AI integration that we have. And so this is basically getting started with Octopus using copy and paste prompts. So if you're all keen, you can follow along here. And Matt started this blog post series that will allow you to do that. So using the AI assistant, you can simply copy these prompts directly into the AI assistant and it will create for you various projects, etc. Set up all the releases, all the deployment processes, all of that. And what it explains also what it happens under the cover. So that's a new blog post series started by Matt. So stay tuned for
Yeah,
that
that's
up
awesome.
on our blog. Yeah, really good stuff. We have a bunch of webinars coming up. The next one we have is tomorrow, which is featuring Bob, Miranda, Alex, and Eric, various folks from GitHub, ARM, and AWS. They were doing a webinar entitled Sustainability Means Velocity, the Future of Modern Pipelines with GitHub, Octopus, and ARM-based AWS Graviton. So this is going to be a pretty detailed primer on, these sort of modern deployment pipelines that you may want to use in combination with each other. So GitHub obviously is where you store your source code and maybe do PRs and commit changes, etc. ARM is the infrastructure upon which it runs along with AWS, and then Octopus is obviously the deployment tool. So bringing those technologies together will be lots of fun to discuss. Recently, I don't know if you know this, Charlotte, but recently we've been adding some new features. And one of the ones that I really enjoy are these ones that focus on infrastructure. So we have a facility here called SCIM, or otherwise known as System for Cross-Domain Identity Management. This is basically a facility that allows you to do automatic exchange of user identity. And this allows you to have to, when you set up a new user, you have to typically set them up with a new Gmail account and then a new payroll entry and a new account for whatever time off, etc. So this allows you to streamline all those provisioning steps you'd have to do. And so now going forward, SCIM provisioning is obviously something that a lot of folks care about. And relative to Octopus, now going forward, we actually have support for SCIM 2. This is available as an early access, which we've now published here. And so if you're looking to utilize this as part of specifically the Azure AD Auth provider, this is something that we can support. So this allows you to basically easily provision users and accounts relative to Octopus via SCIM, which is great. And that's something that will hopefully ship in a upcoming version of Octopus. But that was something that is now in our docs, and you can check it out there, which is great. Great stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really good.
And another feature that recently came out is obviously when we have a lot of customers who make use of what are called pre-release or pre-receive hooks in their Git servers. And these hooks typically perform validation on things like Git pushes, and it will reject them if they don't meet the rules specified in the hook. And so at the moment, when you utilize this with Octopus and the hook fails and it's get rejected, the user can't see why. This change actually, now that we've now integrated with this, will allow you to see those occur. So that's another feature that recently came out. These and other features are actually now being published to an internal shipped source that we have within Slack that we use for Octopus. And it's awesome to see these things ship. And so I thought it would just be nice just to highlight some of these things coming to an Octopus server near you. So there you go. Charlotte, I know you and I have been heavily involved in the recent speaking circuit. I'll be at NDC Sydney. I know that you're thinking about going to /new in
Yes.
Newcastle.
Yep.
And this is another event that we're looking at integrating with, which is PlatformCon. We've been actually a sponsor in the past, and we've actually run local events in Brisbane to support PlatformCon. They actually have a call for proposals open right now. So if you want to share your story at PlatformCon 2026, a call for proposals is now available. And the deadline for this is going to be February 22nd. So maybe an AI Pulse report or a future platform engineering report might be warranted for a proposal here, Charlotte. What do you
Yeah,
think?
absolutely. Yeah, you've given me ideas. This is really good.
Yeah,
I've kind of seen it around Slack, but I think I'll probably get on it after this. So yeah.
awesome. Yeah, PlatformCon has been going for a couple of years now, at least 3 or 4 years, and it's been done by the guys over at Humanitech. And this is, really good conversation around things that involve, obviously, platform engineering, etc. So if you want to check out more, you can find that at platformcon.com, which is great. So make sure to get your sessions in. Another event that we're looking at going to, or not looking, we are going to be at, is DevOps Live in London. So this is going to be on March 4th and 5th at the Excel. I think it's the 3rd year in a row or 4th year in a row that they've done it here. This is always a popular event. We have a booth there. We'll have a booth there again. So make sure if you're in the London area and you happen to have some time available to check out DevOps Live, feel free to drop by. Say hi to us at the booth. This is just about a month and a half away. I know that folks will be there from the Octopus team, including Steve Fenton, who will probably sign a book or two again. I don't know if you know this, Charlotte, but last year when Steve was there, I actually put out a tweet on our social saying, hey, the man, the myth, the legend, Steve Fenton, who authored Exploring Octopus Deploy, is at the event. He will sign copies for you. And then all this rush of people went to the booth. So I don't think I ever told that story, but I did that intentionally to try and I was trying to mess with Steve a little bit. I'm like, yeah, he's here. He's signing books. Steve's like, these people started coming up, from out of nowhere. Sorry, what was that?
So he got no warning. It just
no warning.
People just
no. Yeah, I thought it would be fun, So those are the kind of things.
awesome.
That's the kind of fun we have here at Octopus, I was like, oh yeah, Steve's there. He's got a couple of copies of the book. He'll sign them. I know Steve. He'll sign them. So there you go. Another event we've got coming up in March is obviously KubeCon EU, and we'll have a booth there, and we're going to be doing a bunch of stuff at this event, including ArgoCon. Another event that we have obviously on our radar is KubeCon Japan. And I know that there is a open submissions for speaking there. So if you want to go to Yokohama and you want to speak at KubeCon Japan, feel free to submit your session. And then, as I mentioned, ArgoCon will be part of KubeCon EU. We'll be hosting this. This will be on March 23rd. We have the full schedule now available. And we talked about this recently on the latest edition of Argo Unpacked, which I'll highlight here in a second. But you can see this is the schedule here for ArgoCon. A bunch of great speakers from Intuit, IBM, Tailscale, from various other folks as well. vCluster talks from Cisco, etc. So make sure to check that out. That's at ArgoCon in KubeCon EU. And then, of course, you don't want to forget Argo Unpacked. This is our show that we do every 2 weeks featuring Revital and Dan, talking to a bunch of folks. Our latest episode is now available. And this was a episode featuring Costas, Luke, and Ben talking about Argo CD and CDEvents integration. So CDEvents is a really cool, actually, format. It's a protocol format that's been defined. And I don't think that's it. That's a different thing altogether. CDEvents, I think, is this one here. So CDEvents.dev is a specification for publishing events when they occur on your deployment tool. So if a deployment succeeds, if it fails, there's a consistent contract that you can subscribe to for this. And if you take a look at the documentation for this, it outlines the basic events that fire off. And the reason for this is to simplify integration with deployment tools. So when a pipeline runs, when a task runs, when they succeed, when they fail, that sort of thing, that's a common protocol that most, if not all, deployment tools have. And so by defining a consistent protocol and a consistent way of messaging these things, allows you to have better integration points. So you don't have to reproduce the same wheel over and over again for each deployment tool. You just do it once for those events, and then you can integrate with as many of those that support CDEvents. So that's a protocol that they'll be discussing, and they have discussed in the latest edition of Argo Unpacked, episode 20. You can check out the schedule by looking at ArgoUnpacked.com. This is their upcoming schedule here. Episode 21, I think, was just published the other day. So you can check that out up on ArgoUnpacked.com. Awesome stuff. All right, so Charlotte and I were talking offline here briefly. We've got an upcoming report, the AI Pulse report. Any updates on that, Charlotte? When can people expect this? No firm dates, but rough timelines. When can people expect to see the report?
Hopefully in the next 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks. Right. It's pretty much finished and ready to go, but it's just got a few more little checks, but then it's ready to go. So yes, there will be a registration page available, probably in the next week or so. So if you do want to have a look at it, and get it early, that will be something that I'll highlight on the show, and you can just see what I've been working on.
Nice. Yep. And like Charlotte was saying, we haven't announced anything yet, but we will, once the report is live, we will do a webinar. And Charlotte told me that sometime around March, whatever, you'll see it up on our webinars page. We'll do a webinar about it, so stay tuned for that. And I can't wait to discuss all the things around AI, etc. So anyways, stay tuned for that. Any final thoughts there, Charlotte, before we wrap up?
Well, we just had a big meeting, and I'm just really keen for all the events that are coming at RKO actually.
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of where my mind's at right now.
her first RKO, and is this going to be your first time to France?
Not to France, but first time to Nice. Yeah.
Very good.
So
that's
very exciting.
So anyways, you'll see pictures of this up on our socials. Anyways, Matt and Jim say hi, of course, and on behalf of Charlotte and myself and all of us here at Octopus Deploy, happy deployments, everyone. We'll see you next week. Take care.